It's a few minutes past the hour 6 o'clock. Hello and welcome to Breakfast Live with me, Nana Kwadwo Opon. Now, in the headlines, the death of veteran actor Echo Blankson has shocked the entire country. Now, a 26-year-old nurse allegedly murdered by her boyfriend at Atipa, Akwariase in the Ahafo region. Also, the Deputy Director for Enterprise Risk Management at the Internal Audit Agency has asked auditors to take risk by probing further to get better understanding and clarity on various issues during auditing processes. Now the news in detail. Now, beginning with our first story, the death of veteran Ghanaian actor Echo Blankson has shocked the entire country. Now, Echo Blankson, who was a former managing director of TV Africa, was recently nominated for the Best Male Actor Award at the 2022 NELAX Awards UK.
Veteran actor Echo Blankson, whose death came as a surprise to the Ghanaian movie industry, starred in movies like Boga, Frozen Emotion, Savannah, In April, Checkmate, Illusion, Pool Party, Famous, among others. He had a master's degree in fine arts and a diploma in theatre arts from the University of Ghana, Legon. He graduated from the Heineken Global Commerce University in Amsterdam with a marketing certificate. Having a great passion for media, Echo Blankson, who was working with Group Ideal as their corporate director, alongside served as a subsidiary acting managing director to TV Africa in the year 2017 and was later appointed as the appointing managing director for the station in 2018. Echo Blankson later left TV Africa in the year 2020. The veteran actor, who was nominated in numerous category awards including the Best Actor nomination of African Movie Academy Awards, Best Male Actor International nomination at the 2022 NELAX Awards UK, among others. He was awarded the Golden Start Awards by Great Excellent Movie Awards. Echo Blankson noted that work put in the movie pays off, as featured and directed some Ghanaian movies until his demise. Some journalists and staffs of TV Africa described him as a mentor.
I met Mr. Echo Blankson somewhere in 2015 at the Group Ideal office. I used to work with Group Ideal, and that's why I met him. And he was the head of corporate communication, and I saw that he really knew what he was about, especially having been in the film industry and all that. And I was really impressed with him. But I actually had a more personal contact with him when he came to TV Africa. There was a short stint in 2017, and then finally in 2018, he came in as an acting MD, and I worked with him as the HR. September 2018, until he left us in December of 2020. And I realized that Mr. Blankson always had an open door policy. It was easy to approach. Every time he came in, he always passed to my office, "Hey, Linda, are you in? Oh, I haven't seen you today," and that kind of thing. And though he was a boss, he always made you feel that you could always come to him and talk to him. It was something. There are memories that we will hold on to. It's terrible, but we just wish him Godspeed and that he should rest in peace. And we pray God comforts the family and comforts the movie industry as well, because we've really lost a gem. And it's a talent that I don't know where we'll find another. It's too bad he couldn't impart the generation after him like we would have wanted him to, because he had a lot to offer. But, well, God knows best, and we'll take it like that.
He's a mentor. My very first day encountering Echo Blankson, that was the day I was employed, and I had to, go to his office to be introduced. When he saw me, he's like, "George, you are not properly dressed. don't dress like this again. I said, yes, sir. From that very day, he corrected me. It's like we had a personal encounter. So anytime, he will call you at MCR, George, play this for me, George, do this for me. It's like he took us like a son. Sometimes he will tell you, yes, I know this thing you're supposed to do. Even if I tell you to do it, I'm just putting you on the right path.
Well, I never knew this day would come that I'll be talking about my former MD like this. I had a good relationship with him. I mean, he's one of the few people that supported me. He believed in me, especially when I started my show, Paimoka. He told me, Akosa, you're a star. Just keep doing what you're doing. Sometimes it gets so tiring, it gets so involved, and I'll go to him and then he'll tell me, believe in yourself. Make happy girl, and go for it, go for it. So, yeah, I had a beautiful working relationship with him. You can't really differentiate him being a boss and me being, his worker. He's just loving to everybody, and I am so surprised that I am saying this about him. Like, I'm actually referring to him as boss and all of that.
Well, I met Echo here, and ever since, he's been like a big brother to me. Like, honestly, at work, off work, we had a personal relationship apart from the managing director and a presenter. He sheltered me. He came through for me when I needed him the most. And one funny thing is, even when he left here, I've been in contact with him since. And last week I was even chatting with him concerning his Nellis Awards nominations. He promised me gigs, like we laugh about it. And I remember his birthday in March. We talked that day, trust me. Echo, I wish you can just wake up and I've told Patrick to sew that outfit for you. He's always like, hey, Sika, you dear when it comes to fashion, man. So there was this particular outfit, I wore. It was like, nah, this one, he'll come and take it. And I was like, boss, anytime. It hits me hard, but all I can say is he's a legend to me. He's like a big brother to me, and I will always make sure the memories I had with him lives on in my heart. I can still hear your voice in my head. All I can say is, may you rest in perfect peace. Much love from me, man. It's a Black Monday, but it's all good. God knows best. So I think, yeah, it's all good.
Expensive trips.
Two children. According to reports, the suspect stabbed Alice in the throat during an argument.
Of Tepa Akusiase in the Ahafo-Ano North district of the Ahafo region had woken up with a sad news because of the death of a 26-year-old nurse. According to the deceased brother, Emmanuel Osafo, his sister Alice Osafo, her boyfriend Emmanuel Eje Echampon's relationship was premised on a lie because the suspect had told his late sister he was a building contractor, but later it emerged that Emmanuel Eje Champon was a carpenter. The deceased was very angry when she later found out that her boyfriend was also married with children, so she decided to end the relationship immediately, of which Ebenezer said no. The father of the deceased, evangelist Emmanuel Akwesi Osafo, expressed shock at the sudden demise of his daughter. He added that neighbors in the house expressed worry when Alice did not come out from the room Saturday morning, so they decided to break her door, only to find her lifeless body lying in a pool of blood. He stated that he was in a state of shock when he saw her daughter lying in that condition. He is therefore appealing to the police to apprehend the suspect and bring justice to the family.
Now, the Kwawu development Nana Omari Wadia I has reiterated commitment to complete the Koforidua Hospital Children Wards project. The chief is unhappy with the current state of the facility, as he said that there is more need to be invested to support healthcare delivery in the country.
First reiterated his commitment to complete the construction of the children's ward by the end of February next year, 2023, since the project is 65% complete. This year, he continued to support the Koforidua Children Unit by donating toiletries and other consumable items in addition with an undisclosed cash amount to the unit.
5 or 6 years ago, we've been coming here on my birthday. And this is something that I will tell you, it's just not by might or by power. It's something I dream of all the time. To come here and make sure all these mothers, like our sisters, our mummies, our friends, babies, they are really taking good care, you understand? So we do this not just for the media or something, we do this from our hearts. And we pray that each and every one here, that you think you can do more than this, you just get yourself involved and do it. We are doing this just for love. I was born and bred here, so I will do this till the good Lord calls me. It is about 65% done, and we are hoping to complete somewhere in January. So hopefully in February, we'll be here to commission the project by His grace.
The medical director of Koforidua Regional Hospital, Dr. Akoto Ampao, received the donated item on behalf of the hospital and thanked the chief for the kind gesture. He added that the children's ward, which is currently under construction, will enhance healthcare since the unit will be able to accommodate many children when the project is completed.
Very much aware that Nana Oreduwadie was going to come here and then interact with the clients here, but more importantly, donate something to them. We at the hospital have also been excited that time passed, he's donated even bigger things for the continuity of the hospital. Continue to do all the good things that you have been doing, and many more years to come. We wish to see you still giving to society.
Now to some health matters. The public health physician and the head of the Ghana Armed Forces Non-Communicable Disease Unit, Daniel Mingle, has revealed that Ghanaian patients are set to receive an advanced experience in healthcare delivery and medications following an extensive training. The training, according to the public physician, will give Ghanaian patients confidence in local drug production and medication processes.
Socio-economic development of every country depends on the health of its human resources. Africa has over the years depended on the Western countries for medications or drugs to solve some of its illness, despite having the continent's traditional or herbal medicine treatments. However, clinical trials on many of the drugs imported are not African-centered, a situation the World Health Organization has expressed worry and advised that such clinical trials on various medications to Africa must be conducted in the region. Clinical trials are generally the testing of molecules developed in order to ascertain its level of dosage or toxicity for the safety of patients. And it goes through various processes from laboratory testing to animal testing and eventually to human lives. It is at the back of this that Partners for Patients, an NGO within the healthcare system, together with the Ghana Armed Forces, have organized a training on clinical trials for health practitioners in Africa. The public health physicians and head of the Ghana Armed Forces Non-Communicable Disease Unit, Daniel Mingles, revealed that the training is in the best interest of the patient and will ensure an advancement in healthcare delivery and medications.
Particular training comes to boost the confidence of the patient in our processes, in that the FDA is striving towards improving patient safety and ensuring that anything that a patient in Ghana is going to consume should have passed through the rigorous process before certification, which includes clinical trials. So if we are going to use our traditional medications, then it means that, and to be certified for the right dosage to be determined. Because, for instance, if somebody, a herbalist tells you take 1 cup, my grandma's cup is as big as a pill. My cup is as small as a jug, as a mug. So what is the dosage actually? So these clinical trials, if the capacity is developed, I mean, we have, this is not to say we don't have clinical trial capacity in the country. We do. The FDA does. So, but I mean, you need more centers to run it to be able to. So this seeks to improve the capacity of most centers to run clinical trials. We can only get better. So we seek just to be better at what we are doing. That's why we are trying to also improve the diversity in them. I mean, to say in the US, for instance, of course, when you are doing the clinical trials, there might be a lot of African Americans maybe in there, but then the percentage will not be representative enough of the African continent. So looking at our ethnicities and all, they might not have that kind of diversity. So once you have a multi-center kind of trial where you are taking from each place, you have a much more representative of what the African continent should look like in terms of metabolism of certain medication, toxicities, and that would help us safeguard our patients much better.
The founder of Partners for Patients NGO, Mimichon Kinios, who has over 32 years of working experience, says clinical trials remain at the heart of science, hence Ghana remains a hub of excellence.
Clinical trials remains at the heart of all science and the advancement of innovative medicines and therapies. So for me, I absolutely can see that is doing already. So together, I think stronger science and stronger research together is really going to improve patient lives to find the cures for the most difficult diseases. Everything here in Ghana is just so high quality. One of the things that we keep seeing is the improvements time over time, and I think the Ghana entire government as well as the healthcare system does everything they can within their reach to help patients, and I think we're here just to facilitate the continuous advancement of research and clinical trials throughout Ghana and then of course throughout Africa, making excellence.
Former Miss Ghana Beauty Queen Stephanie Kakari highlighted the importance of the training to improving healthcare delivery in Ghana.
And this is, it's very clear that Ghana needs a lot of support and improvement with our healthcare. So I believe this initiative it's brilliant because it's something that we have needed for a while now. So them coming in to do something like this is very laudable, and I think we should be able to support them the best way we can.
Now, a member of the Partners NGO, Faith Quainons, has urged African leaders to believe and have confidence in local drug producers to produce excellent products after thorough clinical trials. She says Ghana has quality products to improve health delivery in the country. She made this known during a training session for health practitioners here in Accra.
I think it's really important that we're here closing the gaps. Not that there's anything that we can bring, that the expertise isn't here, but we're just here trying to provide the funding and the teaching and really helping Ghana a robust healthcare system for themselves and take care of it for themselves and build the infrastructure. So we're just really excited to be here doing that.
Very well. Before you take a leave of us, COVID actually taught us a great lesson. When COVID came, of course, globally, we understand that it had no cure until some other African countries started developing medicines to at least combat it. Of course, Ghanaian also had their own means of at least combating it. But there's been this inferiority complex on our part. What do you say in terms of believing in?
It's so important for Ghana to have manufacturers of medicine in the country, infrastructure systems for clinical trials, for hospitals that Ghanaians own. So it's so important to just build that infrastructure here in Ghana.
Now to some business matters. The Deputy Director for Enterprise Risk Management at the Internal Audit Agency, Senanu Mensah, has asked auditors to take risk by probing further to get better understanding of their auditing processes. He says lack of risk taking during auditing leads to ambiguity in final reports presentation. He made this known at a risk-based internal audit training here in Accra. agencies establishing to coordinate and provide quality assurance as far as public sector internal audit is concerned. Ensuring quality assurance is the reason why the agency is establishing a training session for auditors to provide their work on a risk-based assessment which puts emphasis on fiscal risk. The Deputy Director for Enterprise Risk Management at the Internal Audit Agency, Senanu Mensa, says taking risk adds value to auditors' institutions, which helps them to achieve their goals desirably.
What it is that as internal auditors, we don't have all the resources to audit every aspect of the institution we find ourselves auditing. Are you getting it? So we want to concentrate on the areas that have the highest risk. And by that, you'll be adding value. You'll be adding value to the institution because then your resource utilization is focused on the areas that would not allow you as an institution to achieve your objectives. Risk are the things that will not allow you to achieve your objective. And so if auditors focus on those areas to help management manage those risks, then obviously we are going to achieve our objective. And ultimately that is why an institution survives to achieve their objectives. So it is a recipe that helps internal auditors help management manage the risk that they face as an institution.
Mr. Mensah further added that a risk-based approach for auditors is backed by law and is the most convenient way to generate value for money for their institutions.
Section 83 of the Public Financial Management Act 2016, it requires that internal auditors are supposed to prepare their annual plans and even their audits using the risk-based approach. So what it means then is that they would have had a way they were conducting their audits prior to the passage of the law, which is the traditional way of auditing. And so the risk-based would mean instead of looking at auditing just everything and anything, you now have to focus your audit attention on the areas that have the highest risk so that you can generate value for money for the institution.
So this is how we draw the curtain on Breakfast News. With me, Nana Kwadwo Opong. Do have a good morning.